How's she going, boys? Mike here. Welcome back to Grampie's workshop. Well, here's my heater. I still love it. I did a review on this a while ago there, and put a link to that video down below. I think it's going to be a great heater because winter's coming. It's going to get cold in the shop, and I think this is going to make a big difference to try to keep me warm. Now, in that review I did on the heater, I was confused by part numbers. The part number on this heater that on the box that it came in was PA50 DKR. When I look on the Mr. Heater website, I couldn't find a reference for a PA50 DKR at all. The only reference I could find was MH50 KR. I never thought of it at the time, and it just was boop, boop, right up and like I'm up and down the dial, but I can't get tuned in on a lot of these things. Just went right over my head. What I come to find out is PA stands for Princess Auto, so this is Princess Auto 50 DKR, and the other one is MH50 KR, which is Mr. Heater 50 KR. They're the same heater, so if you're ever looking for parts and pieces for your PA50 DKR heater, you look for MH50 KR. Pretty simple when you think about it. The other thing I mentioned was this gizmo on the end. I called it in my video an extension cord guard. In fact, what it is it's an exhaust guard. It's on the end here just to keep you from coming in close contact with the outside of this cone because it gets stinking hot when it's operating. So that's what this is. It's an exhaust guard, exhaust extension guard, not an extension cord guard. Okay, just wanted to get that cleared up. Now, what I'm up to today is this is a great heater, but as you see, it's just a sled bottom on it, and that's the bottom of the fuel tank. I don't want to be sliding that around on the floor here, or maybe outside on the gravel if I have to take it outside for something, because I'm afraid I'll damage that tank. So what I'm up to is I'm going to make a frame to go around the bottom of this heater, put some casters on it, and then you know, make it easier to move around too, and it'll reduce the risk of maybe damaging the bottom of my fuel tank. So that's what we're up to in the shop today. I'm going to make a little base for this Mr. Heater. So I've determined that the length to make a base, the long sides of my heater are 29.5 inches long. So I'm going to cut this off 30 inches. So I'll have this this oversized piece to start to work with, so I can rip it down the sides. So we're going to start by making a crosscut here at 30 inches. Alexa, turn on vac.
Okay.
Okay, now that I've got, you know, almost the basic length there, this side here is not a factory edge, but this side is, so I'm going to put this side against my fence, and I want to make these sides 1 3/4 tall. So I'll set my fence to 1 3/4, and I'll make, I need 2 sides and 2 edges, so I'll make 3 rips on this. Alright, now this I want to fit right under this lip, like that, but I have problems with these corners because they're curved. I just want to try and get an overall length here. Looks pretty good. Alright, so I'm going to cut another one this length and then cut the 2 end pieces. Okay, so I have these 2 sides cut, but I just have them protruding out the ends here for now because I want to make sure that this piece is the right length. So this one needs to be 10 1/8. So I'm going to cut 2 pieces 10 1/8 to do the ends here. Okay, so I drilled some pilot holes in here, and I'm going to assemble this little frame now. So a little bit of glue on the ends here. Okay, so I set the heater in this frame and it sits in there pretty good. I was going to make a kerf cut along here to let that set down in there, but I think that's going to be alright. So I'm going to hold off on doing that for just now. But what I want to do now is put a reinforcement across each end so I can mount my casters to it. So that's what I'm going to do next. What I have here is a piece of scrap plywood from when I bought my hydraulic lift table. This was in the bottom of the parcel that came with the lift table, a piece of 1/2 inch. Well, it's ultra cheap plywood, but I mean it's going to do just fine for what I want here. And it's just a little bit longer than what I need, so it's going to work perfect. So what I'm going to do is, I'm going to set that down there. And I want this to come right to the edges of it. So I'm just going to mark that out, cut that and make a bottom out of it. So here's my scrap plywood I'm going to use for the base. It has some cleats in it, so I'm just going to quickly try to knock those off of there. Alright, now we're going to place our frame on this board, and we're just going to mark it here. Then we're going to set the fence and we're going to rip this. And now this should fit on there. And it does. So I'm just going to drill a couple of pilot holes, put some screws in there, put that together. Put a bead of glue along here. And then put my cover on, square it up, and then some pilot holes. Then a couple down each side just to hold her. Alright, so I'm going to locate this caster, well, not right to the very edge of the frame, because I want the hole of the of where the screw is going to locate it to come in the middle of the plywood underneath. So I'm just going to set those back in about, I don't know, 1/8 of an inch or so, 1/4 of an inch maybe from the edge. So 1/4 of an inch from the edge, and I have a center punch here. So I'm going to drill a pilot hole there. I'm going to secure that. Alright, so I'm going to do that in the other 3 corners, and then we'll have a look at how she turns out. Alright, we're ready to try it now. It fits in that base pretty snug, which is what I wanted, and then it slides around nice. Okay, so there it is in its stand. I think that's going to work a lot better for moving it around. It's keeping the tray off the floor, and the bottom fits enough good enough so that I can pick it up and the tray comes with it. If this tends to dry out after time and starts to fall off, I can just put a little clip around the side here, on each side, just to hold that in. But that's going to be good. Now when it's not in use, I'll be able to just slide it in under a bench somewhere, and it'll be out of the way and out of trouble. A quick update here on another little mod that I made for my heater. Look at that. I made a cover for it. The cover is just made out of house wrap, or actually it was roofing underlay material. So I just took a hunk of that, cut it up, you just pull it off, and there you have your heater. And when you're done, and it's cool, you can just put the cover back on, and didn't turn out too bad really. My shop is not real clean. It gets dusty and dirty in here, so I thought that might be a great idea to keep the dust off it. So we made a little tray, wheeled cart, whatever we want to call it, for my new space heater. It's going to work good. Be able to push that around anywhere as I like it in the shop and make sure that it's clear from any combustible materials. So anyways, I hope you liked the little video about making this little dolly cart for my heater, and I hope it gives you some ideas to get out in your shop or in your basement or wherever you go to putter and create stuff and create something for yourself. It's enjoyable. You'd like it, and it's fulfilling. In the meantime, folks, thanks for watching. Give me a thumbs up. I like getting thumbs up. And leave some comments if that's what you like to do as well. And if this is your first time to the channel, thanks a lot for tuning in. I sure appreciate it. And I hope you come back often. Stay safe. Stay healthy. Don't forget about the COVID-19. It's not finished with us just quite yet. And we'll talk to you.